Welcome back to Property Play. I'm your host, Elena Saradidis, and today I have Karen with me back from Carson, Dunlop. We're covering all things home inspections and how to protect yourself when buying a property.
Thanks again for having me.
We were just going through what it's like to actually do a showing with me because we were talking about the fact that not everyone does showings the same way.
Yeah, that's right.
The first time I take a new buyer out, I fully take them across the street of the home we're seeing. I tell them we're not going to do this for every showing. We're just educational today.
Yes.
If we like a property, we'll do this again for the property you actually like. So I go across the street and I'm like, look up at the ceiling, at the roof. How does it look? Do the shingles look like they're curling? Does it look older than the house next door? Then the roof is older. Are there shingles missing? Like, we can tell all this. Like,
Yes.
we're not blind. We can see it.
That's right.
And we can only see the same way home inspectors, they can only see what they can see. They're just trained to see this stuff.
Yes.
When you're a consumer looking through a home, you're seeing for the pretty, like, you're looking for the pretty
Got it.
things.
And they're set up that way. Keep in mind, right? It's for sale. So it's going to have a certain look to it. If the agent who's selling it has done their job, it's going to have a certain look to it that is not trying to distract you away from it, but highlighting the wonderful features of the home. Perhaps not a loose shingle on the roof.
I'm like, no, it's fully distraction. I actually did a showing yesterday and I'm like, the reason why we see so much work is not because the house actually needs it. It's because no one staged, no one painted, they didn't patch the holes. And I'm like, you're walking in and thinking it's a lot of work, but it's really patching and painting.
Yes.
And because the furniture's not there, it's not creating this ambiance of like, I want to live here. This is home.
That's right.
So it is distracting to a homeowner, like a home buyer, when they walk into a home and see all the pretty stuff.
Yes.
So my job isn't looking at the pretty stuff. They can look at the pretty stuff.
Yes.
I'm like, let's go see the exterior. Is the brick deteriorating? Is there certain signs that, you know, the house has been maintained well or not maintained well? Does it smell like fresh paint? The really shitty thing is that if it's been freshly painted, we can't see certain things.
That's right. Because you just painted over certain things. Could be water damage.
100%. Are the cabinets painted?
Yes.
People can't tell that from an actual photo. So it's
Yes.
very much like, touch the cabinets.
Yes.
Do they feel painted? Even like try opening them. Are they off their hinges? Like,
Yes.
how much maintenance does the house actually need?
That's right. Pictures can be very deceiving. Pictures have become so, they're so modern now in the way that they're shot and the videography. It's beautiful and it helps. It helps people narrow down their choices, but you need that feel, see, touch, smell. Very important, particularly when you're talking about a home.
Which is also why I don't think AI is going to be able to do home assessments as accurately as people think they will, because they are not in it actually to feel it, actually to see it. Is the flooring actually very slanted? You can't tell that from a photo. Does it smell like XYZ? Like, you can't tell that from a photo. Is this side of the street not as desirable because of XYZ factor? Like, you cannot tell that from the photo.
That's right. I also have a theory on that I don't understand why we want to take that joy away from potential homeowners. There is nothing that's going to feel like standing in your potential home and dreaming of your life in that home. No one needs or wants or should want to do that from a computer screen. They should want to go in there and picture the nursery and picture what they're going to be making in that kitchen for a holiday dinner. It is a joy of life. This is why buying a home is such a monumental moment in someone's
Yeah.
life. So I love that we've made it more efficient. I do not want to see homeowners lose that source of joy.
I also think that because AI and because everything else, like the way we virtually do home tours is all online, sometimes people rule out properties before seeing them in person.
Right.
So sometimes I do something naughty and I just make them see it anyway. I do it a lot. I'm
Yes.
like, I'm not even gonna
Find
send
an
you,
expert.
but I tell them, I'm like, the first day that we go out, you can pick as many as you'd like. We'll go see everything.
Sure.
It's a touring day. We're gonna see everything. I'll sprinkle some in as well. After the first day, I'm like, we're not seeing everything anymore. I'm like, I'm gonna pick. Now I know what you like.
Yes.
If there's something you really love online, then we'll add it.
Yes.
But we've gone to houses in person. They're like, we didn't even see this on our radar. And I'm like, yeah, because the photos sucked.
Right.
Or because X, Y, and Z didn't happen. Or that they didn't actually have a photo of the property, but I know the area or I know the building so well that I knew the layout.
Yes.
I'm like, this is going to be the one for you.
Yes. Yes. That's where the expertise comes in,
Yeah.
right? That's why you want someone who's seen a lot, who knows the neighborhood, who can stand back on a street and say, this end of the street, great. This end of the street, noisier. Maybe that's good, maybe that's bad. It depends on the buyer, but it's that context, right? You can't get context from the online.
But honestly, AI has fooled all of us. I've gone to a house 3 times that I didn't know I went to. No, like I saw the photos. It's
Yes.
been on the market forever. They canceled, relisted it
Mhm.
so many times. So you can't, like, I wasn't paying attention.
Yes.
I slipped through all the photos. I was like, great, this one we're going to see, this one we're going to see. I have shown 3 different people the same house that I didn't remember I went into
Ah,
because the photos look so drastically different. And then when I walked up to the porch to open the door, I'm like, I've been here.
yes.
And then I opened the door and I'm like, I'm so sorry, guys. I've been catfished for the 3rd time in a row. I keep coming back here. It's
catfishing now.
no, but it's not the same house.
Yes.
That house needed a full demo crew and they AI'd virtually, which you're not allowed to do.
No.
They edited the whole entire property. So it wasn't just simply putting a couch, it was taking out walls.
Yes. Yes, they do the renovation, which is nice inspiration, but isn't what is on the market currently. So there's a bit of weeding to be done, right? Certainly, and this also adds to the emotion of the process, right? Consumers have heartache over this because they see something, it's in their price point, it looks gorgeous, and they get there and say, "Oh, so that was after $500,000 more." It's disheartening.
Yeah, 100%. Oh my gosh, I was like 100%. I can't stand it. I was like, don't put AI photos unless it's just a couch. The couches I'm okay with. You can put a couch, you
Yes.
can put a TV.
People want to know if things fit, right?
Yeah.
Particularly in condo units, there's always that concern, 3-seater, 2-seater, how much room do we really have to work with? And it can be hard and it can get repetitive because they do have similar layouts sometimes. So I think that virtual staging, okay, virtual alteration maybe is where you draw the line.
And I also think it's okay to do that, but it's okay to do that if you take a photo and put it in the house. Of like, here's an example of
Yes.
how you can do this living room, kitchen, dining, whatever,
Yes.
and how it can make it better. But let's go back to home inspections
Okay.
because we've like teetered off
We have.
completely. But okay, we're back to home inspections. What part of the house is the most important part to inspect?
All of them, all the parts. There's no one part that's going to be more important than another part. There's 9 systems that need to be reviewed. You need to take your time and be thorough as a home inspector. It's also that education for the consumer. So walking through the consumer of those major systems of the home. Certainly big ticket repairs, if you want to sort of isolate based on that. Foundation, that's a big one, right? Cracks, shifting, concerns around foundation. Water, right? Water can be a small problem that causes big damage, but you absolutely want to be cognizant of water issues or the potential for water issues. So what is the drainage like? Do we foresee that there'd be problems based on sloping, things like that? Roof, very big ticket item in a home to replace a whole roof. So what is the status of the roof? Roofs last a really long time. So people tend to get really nervous about roofs, but you do it once, you're likely to have done it for the length of time you're going to own that home.
What you also have to remember, some people put roofs on top of roofs.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah, not
Yeah.
all roofs are created equal.
No. And like it's happened where like I bought houses too where it's like there's 4 roofs on your roof. And I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, they just kept putting a layer
Right,
on
it's
top
cheaper.
and putting a layer on top because they didn't have to take it down. But
That's right.
you can only do that up to a certain point,
It's
and
like
then
painting.
and then you have to actually take it all off and actually do your roof.
Yeah, at a certain point, there's a diminishing return on the patch job, right? So the inspection is going to help narrow that down too, right? Like what's the condition, what's the true condition of that roof, and how much life does it have left, right? In maintenance or replacing.
You mentioned the 9 systems. What are those 9 systems?
So we've got foundation, you have the flooring of the home, you've got the heating of the home, you have the cooling of the home, sampling of the windows of the home. You've got the attic and insulation of the home. I've lost track of how many fingers I'm on.
I'm at
The
6.
plumbing, the electrical. What am I missing?
I feel like we're missing one.
It'll come back to me.
It will come back.
Yes.
Maybe appliances?
Appliances.
There we go. We're at 9.
Okay.
We hit 9.
We hit 9. There's more things that they're looking at, but there's the major essentials of the home that, again, it's what is going to make that home run.
Yeah.
Right. That we're going to be really concerned about and we're going to be looking at.
Okay. Is there such thing as a perfect home? Like a house that needs nothing?
There are homes in great condition. I would suggest there's not such a thing as a perfect home. One, because all homes need maintenance. So is a home perfect if nothing big is teetering on the edge of end of life? Okay, maybe you could say that. But everything is going to eventually need either repair or replacement, right? You can buy the most expensive washer dryer system that's on the market, but eventually you'll have to get a new washer and dryer. And then there's just that aspect that, generally speaking, homes are not widgets, right? They're almost living, breathing systems that are working together. So it's highly unlikely you're going to come across a home where someone's going to say it's perfect. If they do, it actually suggests that's a bit of a red flag. It's likely that there is more to it than, yep, it's great, checkbox, go ahead, right? You'd want to have some depth to that report and understand that home a bit more.
I actually get angry when the home inspector says there's nothing. I was like, please find something. I'm like, please find something, anything. I'm like, open up all the cabinets again, make like find me something. Because it makes me nervous too. Cause I'm like, I've called in a home inspector. They've told my client the house is perfect. And I'm like, please look again one more time. Find me one thing wrong so I can be like, it was thorough.
And it's also about setting the expectation of that client, right? So if you tell a client a home is perfect, well, what does perfect mean to that client, right? One nail pop means the home is no longer perfect. I would suggest otherwise. But to that client, that might mean that. So you have to be really careful about setting expectations. Again, it's an emotional type of transaction. It's big. People are concerned. They have fears and worries and hopes and dreams packed up into this type of transaction. So perfect is not a word I would ever suggest using around a house. Something that's a good fit for them, something that's manageable, something that has repairs and maintenance that are manageable, and that has problems that have been addressed, and that everyone is feeling comfortable with, knowing they're going into this with a really clear understanding of what that home is all about.
It was amazing. I think that's all we have for today. Thank you so much for joining me. If you want more content like this, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe. If you are buying a home and need a home inspection done, Carson Dunlop is a leader in the industry. They also provide the education for like 99.9% of all home inspectors out there. So why not work with the best? Once again, this was Elena Saradidis, and this was Property Play.